Hello, everyone. Welcome to Wildcard Sports, and it's our NFL Wildcard Preview, going over all the playoff games for the NFL. Got a lot going on this week. I think there's a good chance a lot of upsets can happen this week. We're going to go game by game like we did last year. We'll start from the earliest game to the latest game. First game up is Chargers-Texans. LA is actually favorited in this game by 3, and it's 42.5 over-under.
I like the Chargers in this one. I think Bear's gonna. I think the Chargers quarterback is going to be the difference. I think the injuries that the Texans have been having to deal with, especially wide receiver, are going to affect this game. So yeah, I see the Chargers handling these guys fairly easily. I think.
I mean, I wish I could go to this play. It's $68
Woo!
to go to this playoff game instead of the $700 that it is for the Lions
what
playoff.
What is it with this? Why is there such a discrepancy?
Like, oh my God, that's cheap. I'll go to a playoff game for $68.
What the heck? Why is it such a discrepancy? Why are the Lions just trying to screw their fan base?
No, that's secondary sellers is what's doing that. But like literally $68 to go to a playoff game in Houston. But yeah, I think LA is probably going to come out with this one. I think it'll be close though. Houston is not a bad team, even with the injuries they have. They still got C.J. Stroud and Nico Collins. Joe Mixon's having a good day. Their defense really isn't all that banged up. But I mean, it does have some injuries, but a lot are expected to return for the playoff game. So we'll see what happens. Honestly, I think it'll be close, but I think this is your first kind of upset per se, because Houston's the home team. They're the higher seed. They should not lose, but Chargers are 11-6. Houston's 10-7. I think the Chargers will end up beating Houston here as well. I think if I got to give it a score, I'll give it like 35-28. I'll do a nice round sevens right there.
I don't think it'll be that high scoring. I'm looking more like maybe 24-17 Chargers.
You're doing a little bit low, but I think it's still going to be a good game. I think Justin Herbert will get his playoff win. Jim Harbaugh will continue to be a fantastic coach, and he'll win. And then if LA wins, there's a good chance that they will be the team to go face on the Kansas City Chiefs first and try to take them down on their road to another Super Bowl win, trying to be the first team to three-peat.
I think it would be a great game as long as the weather stays decent for the Chargers.
Your next game is the Steelers and Ravens. Ravens won the AFC North after a Steelers collapse. There's talks of Justin Fields being the QB instead of Russell Wilson for this playoff game. Ravens obviously are favorited. They're favorited by a lot more than I thought they would be. 9.5, 43.5 over under. And they're giving the Ravens a 72% chance to win this game.
Unfortunately, Pittsburgh seems to have lost the early momentum they had. I kind of was rooting for them. I really like Mike Tomlin. Seeing Russ Wilson kind of resurrect his career, that was kind of cool. And but they've really kind of fallen off the wagon the last month or so, and I don't see them, suddenly bouncing back in this game. I think the Baltimore Ravens will handle it pretty easily.
I don't agree with how wide they think the margin is going to be a victory, but I do think the Ravens are going to win. Even with Russell Wilson, or if you go and you play Justin Fields, I don't think that's going to solve your problem. Steelers are on a 4-game losing streak.
Yeah, what are you changing now? I mean, it makes no sense. That makes no sense.
They've lost, though the Pittsburgh has faced, in their 4-game losing streaks, they've played Philly, Baltimore, and KC, and lost a close game to Cincinnati, who was fighting for a playoff spot. So all games were tough, and this is going to continue to be a tough game. Their last game, though, didn't show much promise in Baltimore. They lost 34-17. It probably is going to resonate around the same kind of point total. I'll probably go with 30-10. I think
that's Baltimore. Pretty close to what I thought, 30-14.
I'll do 30-10. I said it was going to be close. I'm going to go 30-10. That's kind of where my mind ended with that. But
you do that.
But Baltimore just is a better team right now. Lamar is fighting for his first Super Bowl. So we'll see what happens with that one. Moving on to Sunday's game. The next game should be a little bit interesting. Though Buffalo is favored by 8.5, The Broncos are hot. And they're going into Buffalo. Like I said, 8.5 favorite for Buffalo. Is a 47.5 over under. They're giving Buffalo a 70% chance to win, and because it's in Buffalo, it's a nice 29 degrees and cloudy for game time. Apparently, 1 o'clock game time, so midday. It's not going to be night when the potential for more
Right.
lake effect snow potentially to show up. But for the most part, it's going to be a better day for Denver to be in Buffalo. Whether they're kind of used to playing in Denver, because it ain't warm in Denver. 29 degrees is pretty average for this time around the year. So we'll see what ends up happening. But I still think Buffalo's going to win. I think this might be Josh Allen's year to get them to the Super Bowl. But I think Buffalo is going to win this one over Denver pretty easily.
I hope not. I mean, I'm a big fan of Bo Nix, and I kind of hope that Denver shows up and plays them tough. They're certainly not going to be worried about the weather. The weather's not going to bother them. You got two outdoor teams, so. But I do believe, like I said, Buffalo's just too good. They should handle them easily. But I hope not. I'm hoping Denver can.
Another $81 if you want to go to Buffalo and watch a playoff game against Denver.
All right,
$81. That's nothing.
I know.
I spent all this money on a Lions playoff. They get in their place, spending nothing everywhere else. But yeah, I think this is going to be a better game out of Buffalo. I think Denver will put up a fight, but I think it's going to be like 30-23 final score.
I think you're being really nice. I think, like I said, I'm thinking more like 30-10.
I don't think the Bills are 8-0 at home too. They have not lost at home. Broncos are 4-5 on the road. I just don't think Denver's going to be able to pull it off.
No.
Moving. So by our standards, your AFC divisional round will be Buffalo versus Baltimore, and Chargers Chiefs will be your divisional round.
Okay, we're not picking it now though.
We're not picking that now, but right now that's where we're at. We have Chargers, Chiefs, Buffalo, and Baltimore.
Right.
For the NFC side, we got our Sunday games. 3 games, obviously, like usual. First game that's going to pop up on Sunday for the NFC is the Packers going to Philadelphia. Philadelphia is favored by 4.5. Jalen Hurts has been practicing again, so you will have Jalen Hurts most likely playing in this game, which should favor the Eagles more. They're still giving this about a 50-50 shot, which is surprising to me. Jordan Love is also kind of dealing with hand issues, but we'll see what ends up happening. But I still think Philadelphia should be the winner of this game.
Oh, me too. I think Philadelphia will handle them pretty easily. It should be something like, probably 24-10. I'll say Green Bay's got a good defense.
Green Bay has been faltering a little bit. They're coming off a loss to Chicago and Minnesota. Their last win was against New Orleans. Seattle, they beat Seattle, and then they lost to us. I think Seattle was the last team with a winning record that they beat.
Right.
But I'm not even 100% sure Seattle ended the year with a winning record, so we're going to check that real quick so I can be correct. They did. So
Hurts hurt?
Hurts, well, he had a concussion
a
couple weeks ago, but he's been practicing, so he should be playing. AJ Brown's also hurt, but I think he's going to end up playing too. Everyone is predicted to be back in time for the game, so I don't think there's any problems for the Eagles. I think they're going to win it. I'll give it like a 35-14
nice
score. I think they're going to handle Green Bay pretty easily. Your next game, this is where I'm going to put an upset watch on too. The Commanders versus the Buccaneers. Washington is a really, really good team. Right now, Tampa Bay is favorited by 3, but I'm feeling really good about Jaden Daniels in his first playoff game. Also, I want the Commanders to come play the Lions. I'd rather see that than a game that we've already seen a bunch of times. But Jaden Daniels is playing real well. I think he can carry Washington to a playoff win. Tampa, Baker Mayfield is hot, but I don't think Tampa will have enough to beat Washington.
This is going to be a real tight game. I mean, I hate ever going against Baker Mayfield's tough as nails. And I agree with you. I think, like I said, Washington, they just seem like destined to win this first one, though. I think that they'll pull this off too. I think it'll be really close, though. I think it's going to be something like 21-20.
Washington is on a win streak. In that win streak, they did beat both. Well, they beat Philadelphia. Everybody else is below 500. But they're on a 5-game win streak. They took care of business for the most part. Tampa, they're on a 2-game win streak. But the last team they beat with a winning record was back on December 15th. The Chargers, who are also in the playoffs, they beat the Chargers 40-17. So I mean, no knock on Tampa. They're a good team. They can kind of wreak some havoc in the playoffs because I could see them really giving the struggle to Philadelphia again. So we'll see what really happens there. But I think Washington's going to win this one. I think it's going to be close, though. I think it's going to be like a 3-point margin or 2-point margin. I'm going to say 28-26.
Washington. We're both saying close. 1 or 2 points or something like that. It's going to come down to the wire. Maybe a last-second field goal to win it.
Because this is going to be a close game. I'm going to give it to Washington, though. It's 55 in Tampa, which ain't that bad of weather, but cold for them. But we'll see what ends up happening. Last game is Rams-Vikings. What do we think is going to happen here? The game could get moved to Arizona due to the wildfires in L.A., so we'll see what ends up happening there, which could hurt
possibility.
LA. Right? That could hurt LA because now you're kind of taking away that kind of home field advantage they have. But they're giving Minnesota a little bit of the advantage here. I think they are favorited in the game by 2.5. They have a 54% chance to win. They're healthy, but they're coming off a bad loss to the Lions for the most part. They should not have played as bad as they did, which gives me more the benefit towards the Rams with how Vikings looked against the Lions.
I agree. Like I said, I think the Rams are a good, really good team at home. If they can play at home, and hopefully, like I said, the fires will be contained by then. But and I think, like I said, Matt Stafford's been rested. He's got his weapons. I don't know. Like I said, I'll take Matt Stafford over Sam Darnold any day. I still think the difference.
I think it will be close, though. I think it's going to be another close game. I think your NFC games are going to be more entertaining than your AFC games. But I think there's a good chance it's a lower scoring game. Defenses will show up. I think I'll give it like a 21-17 final score in the Rams' favor. But if it's in Arizona, it could go more in the Vikings' favor.
Right. I'll say 35-31 at Rams.
Because it's going to be, I think it's going to be a good game. But with what we've said, then you have the Rams playing the Eagles and Lions playing the Commanders.
Playing Washington, right?
Yep.
Commanders, the Redskins.
We'll see what ends up happening. I mean, I want that matchup just because I want a different matchup. Obviously, you don't want to play. Do I want to play Matthew Stafford again at home in a playoff game?
I want to see Matt Stafford in Philadelphia.
Send Matthew Stafford to Philly. Send him to Philly. Rams, in this case, Commanders win, and Eagles win, then the Commanders will be coming to Detroit no matter the outcome of the Vikings-Rams game. But if the Bucs win, then whoever wins the Vikings-Rams game is coming to Detroit for another game because the Rams played in Detroit the first game of the year and Vikings just were in Detroit last week. So coming back to Detroit for another game if the Commanders can't beat the Bucs or the Packers can't beat the Eagles. We'll see what ends up happening. But it should be a good
Kelly, don't come to Detroit.
But we'll see what ends up happening. It's a good bye week for the Lions, but we'll get more into like the Lions stuff too in a different video. But Lions Chiefs to get the bye week, and either they're going to end up playing the Rams and Steelers, or not Rams and Steelers. The Chiefs will end up playing the Ravens or Steelers, and then the Lions could end up playing the Commanders or Vikings Rams game. Is basically what we're saying. Could happen.
Ooh.
But with all that being said, if you like what you see, like, comment, subscribe, share the video around. Let us know what you think about the playoff structure and who you think is going to win. And until next time, we'll see you everybody soon.